went to, some argue, the best university in Iran, University of Tehran. There is another one called Sharif University, but we always fight who's better. I think we are better. Funny enough, I chose chemical engineering because I really liked chemistry and math. At the same time, I always ask myself, what is it that you want to do? And the answer to me was always helping others. So with chemical engineering, I noticed that we are working on petroleum, and I started seeing how many incidences we had in like Gulf of Mexico and so many similar cases where petroleum, damaged the environment drastically. I was like, okay, this is not something I want to deal with. So I switched to biofuels because I was like, okay, green energy, that's going to be the future. I ended up going to hospitals, playing music for children, and I saw children suffering from cancer. I was like, this is more important. This is a bigger deal. I want to dedicate my life to that. And for a while, that was very satisfying to me because I really wanted to do something more and make these children happy. At the same time, it was a huge burden mentally, because a lot of times we would go there. These were terminal cancer patients, so we would bond with them, and then next week we go back and they're not there anymore. So because of that, it really influenced my decision to do something more, because I thought my chemical engineering degree at the time did not have the impact that I wanted to have. And I always liked biology anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna do biomedical sciences to help these patients. So at any stage in my life when I made a decision, it was solely because I found a better way to do things that impacts more people. I'm Faraz Harsini, and I'm a biomedical scientist. After my doctorate, I had a couple of offers for my postdoctorate from MIT and Scripps in San Diego, but I really wanted to advance clinical research, so I turned down those offers and joined biopharmaceutical companies and biotech companies to accelerate clinical research. During my academic career, we had a bioethics class. So they were basically preparing us to go to animal facility. And they said, just make sure that you don't record anything, it's absolutely prohibited. And I said, why can't we take pictures? And he said, because it might leak out. And I was like, why would you say leaking? He said, well, people get emotional. And I said, but it's taxpayers' money. So we are doing this with people's money. Why shouldn't they know what happens with their money? I mean, you can guess that discussion didn't go that far. I'm also a huge fan of Carl Sagan. So Carl Sagan said that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. When I first saw how animal experimentation is conducted, and it was not what I expected at all, I thought to myself that extraordinary suffering should require extraordinary evidence. And we were taught that this is the only way to do it. So I was like, I'm sure they are right. So I looked into literature, trying to convince myself that this is the only way to do it. But when I really tried to remove bias from the equation, all I saw was that the data that we get from these animal models is not directly applicable to humans. Okay, this is gonna completely offend Scottish people because I tuned it so I can play it in a completely different scale. Okay. And it's gonna be loud as fuck. So I don't know what you're gonna hear here. I honestly can't go back to Iran because I nuked every bridge behind me. I'm openly gay. I've done LGBT activism here. I don't identify as a religious person, so that's already a huge thing. I've played music that might not be supported by Iran's regime. I remember the first thing that happened was I really wanted to talk about LGBT rights in Iran, especially because I never realized, it sounds stupid, but I never realized I was gay because how much oppression there was. I couldn't even imagine. I was like, I'm sick, it's probably because I don't have a girlfriend, I'm mentally ill, it's probably because of this and that. Tried to justify it, and I was like, this will go away, this is a phase. And being gay was the best kept secret of my entire life to that point. So I never talked about it at all until I had a discussion with a friend. But once I came out and started talking about it, that was the most freeing experience that I can never really put it in words. And after that, I hung out with a bunch of really open-minded and smart kids at my college. I was like, they know me. They know that I'm just like a normal person like them. So the least I can do for LGBT community in Iran is to say that, hey guys, you know me, you know my intentions, you saw me just every weekend going to hospitals, playing for children. You know who I am, and I'm gay, and that has nothing to do with, my personality. And because like, you never come across another gay person in Iran because they would never tell you, right? So, and there's a lot of misunderstandings, like, gay is the same thing as transgender, gays want to wear makeup. In fact, I thought I wasn't gay because I didn't want to wear makeup. So that's how much, how misled we are. So the least I thought I could do was to openly talk about it. And I knew that if I do that, then I can't go back to Iran. So one day I called my mom, I said, hey, make sure, sit down. And she said, what's up? I said, yeah, so I'm gay. And she said, well, I knew it, but thanks for trusting me. I was like, damn it, can we have some drama? I was like, how did you know? She was like, well, you're my son. I know. I'm your mom. I know. I was like, damn it, couldn't you say that earlier so I knew it at least? So, but I told her that I really want to talk about it, but if I do, then I can't go back to Iran. And I was also worried that this becomes a problem for her because she's still in Iran, for her to get harassed and all that. And she said, this is your life. You have to live a free life, and it doesn't matter how my life is impacted. It's your life. You have to do what's best for you and what you think is right to do. So if you think speaking the truth is the right thing to do, you shouldn't even think about me. So that's why I decided to never shut up when I think that there is something needs to be fixed.